Condolences continue to pour in from across the nation as people mourn the death of Travis Roy. The former Boston University hockey player dedicated his life to helping survivors of spinal cord injuries after suffering one himself. Local 44's Devin Bates joins us live now in the studio tonight with more on this story.
Yeah, Lauren, 11 seconds into his first shift on the ice for the BU Terriers, Travis Roy suffered an injury that would change his life forever, but he refused to let it be the end of his story. The relentless positivity of Travis Roy was infectious, his perseverance unwavering, and his impact on the lives of others immeasurable.
You might only get to spend an hour with Trav some days, and it was the best hour of your day. And what you didn't see is all the time and effort and commitment that he had to getting up, getting into his chair, and then you'd come in and he would just light the room.
Roy's brother-in-law, Keith Van Orden, said Travis had the gift of perspective, and his positive attitude made it hard to worry about anything around him. He channeled those traits into the life-changing charity that bears his name, and as a result, the Travis Roy Foundation has raised over $9 million to date. Roy also had a knack for giving people the kind of help you couldn't put a price on.
Very quietly, he would talk to the family, help them get connected with the right hospitals, help them understand what the next few months might be like. I think he was an inspiration to people in some of those darkest hours.
Travis Roy once said that the first 20 years of his life were full of passion, and the 20 years following his injury were full of purpose. He had a different kind of determination that will always be remembered within the hockey community. The news of his passing had legends of the game like Cam Neely and Ray Bourque paying their respects.
They can see themselves in Trav. They can see the excellence in Trav, but more, they're just so inspired by what would have been a devastating injury for all, but what Trav was able to do on the other side of that injury was inspiring, whether you're around him for 3 hours or 3 days.
In the weeks before Roy's passing, he told family that he wants everyone to know how grateful he was for their support and that it's important to continue providing hope to those living with spinal cord injuries. Thankfully, he spent his life nurturing a foundation with the power to do that.
The foundation will continue. This is we're kind of celebrating both the anniversary of his accident as well as the anniversary of the foundation. We had a big year planned, and we continue to want to see that through in Travis's memories.
Van Orden also said the foundation is currently seeing a lot of donations, a popular amount being $24 in honor of the number he wore at BU all those years ago. Live in studio tonight, Devin Bates, Local 44 News.